What's good, my 1v1me fam? Your Uncle HK, aka homie Kirk, is back with another video today. And look, in today's video, I got something special for y'all, man. I got a set of 1v1me Season 0 2v2 My Player League partners, and I got them to give me their top 8 teams they think makes the playoffs with 2 sleeper teams. And then their 2 to 3 teams they think wins the playoffs. All right, this was a very good video. It'll kind of give you insight on who you should be on the lookout for, who you think who's going to be most consistent, and who's going to go super hard in this last week going into our playoffs on April 7th, which is literally just a week away. All right, it was a good video. I liked it. One of my favorite videos doing with all the partners. Go follow the Twitch, you know what I'm saying, so you never miss a stream that I commentate or that's commentated live on the 1v1me Twitch channel. All right, appreciate and love every single one of y'all enjoy content like this. Hey man, drop a comment, drop a like down below. Let's get into it. All right, and we are with Drew DF now, and he is going to give us his 8 teams he thinks will make the playoffs and why, and then his 2 sleeper teams he thinks could possibly get in there. All right, let's go, Drew.
All right, my first team I think is gonna make it. Blicks.
Blicks, okay.
Blicks makes it. Blicks.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you why after each one, or
Yeah, you go ahead and tell us why after each one. Why you think Blicks will make it?
I think Blicks in the situation where Talks holds the crown. If they match up, Blicks wins that. So he holds the crown, he holds his spot.
Okay.
Tutek. Tutek has a good schedule, and him and Casher are playing a lot better. So I think they make it. Same with Stagepiece. He got a really good schedule. He's number 2, not losing his spot, I don't think. And then Takeover
season
on one of the last Saturday night. So I think he makes it. I think he beats Blicks with the East-West. And Chad, I think Chad makes it. This is going to be a little scary. I don't know if he'll make it.
Oh, you think he might end up out of there?
Yeah, I don't know. He's going to be a risky one, but I think he makes it. Streaky and RC, they're good, and they've been making teams struggle with ISO. And then these 2, I got Young Dirk. I think
Young Dirk. That's an interesting one. Yeah, why do you think Dirk?
I think Dirk has a favorable schedule. I think he plays late on Saturday, and it's going to be not much of a chance for people to jump him. So I think he gets one of these wins against a lower ranked team that jumps up high late, and he steals it. So I think he sneaks his way in. And I think my last team was the Twins. The Twins could potentially find a way. So
I've seen a lot of people say that Twins because they think they don't want to split up, so they're going to try their hardest to.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Twins do. But there's 2 sleeper teams. One is, I think, me and ISF.
Okay.
We are one of the best teams. We did not get a good schedule. We don't play on the weekend. But I think if we can get ourselves in a good position on Friday, Thursday, like right before the weekend, if there's only like one team above us, maybe somehow we get a crown match, we're going to win it, and we're going to hold it, and we're going to hold that top seed. So I think me and I are either like number 1 or 2 seed, or we're out. If we finish the week on like number 5 and we go into the weekend as 5, it's GG. And then the second sleeper team is Quickster.
Oh, Quickster! I forgot about that team.
Yeah, I think they're better than most of the teams on this list, but their last match is Thursday. So if they don't play Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, then they're basically just going to be watching teams jump them. So they're the same situation as me and I. I think if they're like number 1 or 2, they have a chance. But otherwise, say visit Cancun for me. I'll book a trip. Me and Quickster. So we'll see. But that's my 8.
Okay.
Once it gets to playoffs, it's Chad, Blicks, or Takeover, and there's no question that any of those other teams stand any chance. So
okay. So you think that's your 3 favorites to win the? Okay, I need to start asking that too.
And if I make it in there, I'm winning it. So it's That's the 4. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Drew, for your list, your insight. I guess we're gonna see if you make it to the playoffs or not by next week.
We'll see. Fingers crossed.
All right, and we're with Stagepiece, and he's going to give us his 8 teams that he thinks is going to make the playoffs and why, and then he's going to give us 2 sleeper teams he thinks that also have a chance of getting into the playoffs while we're a week out.
Okay, so you guys already know, man, this is the last week before playoffs. Things are going to go crazy. Like, a lot of teams are going to miss playoffs. So my 8 teams, starting off, I'm going to say myself, you know what I'm saying? Right now, we're currently the number 2 seed in the, the playoffs. And we have 6 games left, so we kind of control our own destiny. We just got to probably win our next 3 out of 6 games to probably guarantee a playoff spot. Then we have Toxic, you know, who's a #1 seed right now.
You think he's next? He's in there?
I think he's a lot because just by looking at his schedule, he has a lot of like bottom tier teams that he plays, and I think most of the games are like he can win. And with the #1 seed, you know, you have to really lose all of your like 7 games to even not make it. So he's probably definitely a lock to make the playoffs. Then we have Blicks and Chad, just because you know they're like right now they're at, I think Blicks says, let me check right now the standings. I think Blicks is at 7 or 8. Let's see. So I'm sorry, Blicks is 9 and Chad is 10. So right now they're not, you know, in the playoff position, but they have a lot of games that they're going to be able to, you know, climb up the leaderboards. Like they play me, Paris. Blicks also plays Toxic, so that game is going to be very important because if Blicks beats Toxic, he's definitely going to make the, you know, make the playoffs. So I have those 2 teams just because, you know, their guards are really, really good. And then my 5th team, we're going to have Takeoverszn. You know, Takeover did have a really good win over Drew, I think today. And if they, you know, find their rhythm and like, you know, like they fix their chemistry, I think they're going to be able to make playoffs. Takeover is one of the best guards in the game. Even with
Takeover struggles, you think they still make it? Him and OC's been struggling with each other recently.
I think they figure it out. Like today was a really, really like big win against Drew. That's another really good team. That's like a step forward. And he has like 70 games. He has a lot of games. And he has a lot of chances to climb their leaderboards because he plays a lot of teams above him. So that's 5. I think that's 5 teams, Kirk. Right?
Yeah, that was your 5th team.
Okay, and now we have OFAB, right?
OFAB, okay.
Yeah, I know people are gonna be surprised, right? I ain't gonna lie, guys. OFAB's in a 5-game win streak right now. He's balling.
Okay.
I know. He just beat the Twins to capture the 5th seed. And his schedule is kind of easy. He has like 6 games. 5 games. He plays dribbling, Meter Man, Lowe's, Young Dirk, Miami. Those are all winnable games. But also on Saturday, he plays Team Toxic. So, and he's like, I think they're 2-1 against Toxic this season. So if they beat Toxic on Saturday, and Toxic is probably going to be a top seed, they're going to probably make playoffs. So, and right now, Fab and Glizz are really connecting together. Like they're in the right spot. Like they're making the perfect playoff push. So I have Fab as my 6th team. My 7th team, we're going to have the 2K Twins. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. They had Twins was somebody I thought that was going to make playoffs. They got good chemistry together.
Yeah, so with the Twins, you know, they have I think they have 6 games left in the season. They play a lot of higher ranked teams. They play Paris, Blicks, myself, Drew, Takeover. And I think the Twins, you know, they want to stick together next season, all right? So they want this shit. So
that is true.
I think they definitely make playoffs. You know, I think Luke and Eli figure a way out to make playoffs. But that's gonna be my 7th team. And then my 8th team, you know, I'm gonna say we're gonna have Paris AI is gonna make playoffs. Okay?
Paris and Cardi, okay, that's a good pick too.
So right now they're the #3 seed currently, and they only have 5 games left, I think. And I ain't gonna lie, sorry, that's 7 games. My fault. They're like 7 games left, and they also have a lot of chances to climb the leaderboard. Their schedule is very daunting, but I believe in my boy, you know, Paris and Cardi to, you know, make the playoffs. They're #3 seed, so they have chances to climb up, and I think they make playoffs. And I think we're missing one more team, Kirk. I think.
You think so?
I think I'm a 7. So I want to make sure. I think I'm a 7, Kirk. Let's see.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we're gonna have my last team is gonna be. Sorry. That is 8. My fault. That is 8. My bad.
Okay. I was about to say I thought that was 8.
Okay.
All right. So give me 2 sleeper teams that you think will maybe possibly make it in there.
Okay. So. Right now, currently looking at the standings. So, you know, obviously, first sleeper team is going to be Team Miami 2K, all right?
Okay, Team Miami 2K.
So currently, I think they're number, what are they?
Miami
17
2K?
in the leaderboard. Okay?
Yep.
But listen, man.
17. You think 17? I mean, anything can happen. We saw Team Toxic jump all the way from 17 to #1. So, yeah. Anything could happen. But why is that? Man. Why is that a team that you think could sleep like low-key get in there?
They should have beat Toxic a couple of days ago. Miami had a lot of chances to finish that game, but he couldn't. And if you just look at the schedule, they have Fab coming up, a team who's above them in the playoffs. You have Quickie, who has a chance to climb leaderboards. Then you have Team Toxic on Friday. That's going to be their biggest game of the season. Because if they beat Toxic, I think they make it. Because after that, they only have 2 games left, all right? And that game's on Friday. So if they, even if they beat Fab or Quickie, I think their biggest game is against Toxic, and I think they get the job done. You know, like they always have good series against Toxic and Draco, and also Slump and Miami are a really good defensive team. And I think, you know, Slump figures out a way to get Miami out the game or out the series. And I think they just, you know, kind of sneak in the playoffs. You know, they just barely, you know, make it in. So,
Okay. Last team for your sleeper team.
we're gonna go team Streaky. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I was wondering if you was gonna throw him in there. I was like, Streaky not in none of the list.
You know, okay, as you guys know, Streaky, bro, he fights, bro. He hates losing. All right, he wants to be in that, you know, like playoff bracket. He wants that bright lights. And if you look at the schedule, they only have 5 games, but they do play a lot of teams above them. They play Paris, they play myself, they play Twins, and they also play Drew. So they have a couple of, like, and they also play Iggy, but Iggy's a lower team. But they have 4 chances to climb up the leaderboards. And with their ISO thing, you know, like they can beat anyone. I feel like with ISO, a lot of teams don't play ISO, so you don't really see ISO like every time.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get, you know, maybe 1 or 2 series where they play really, really good, where they don't miss, they can probably make a playoff push. And I think with Streaky and RC, like they have really a lot of chemistry. They've been playing for multiple years, and you know how Streaky is, man. He wants.
Yeah, he likes to win. He doesn't like to lose. He be locked in.
So yeah, that's my second sleeper team. So you know we have Streaky and Miami make it in, maybe make it in.
Okay. Now can you just give me your list one more time, all the way through top 8, and then your 2 sleepers? Okay.
So we're gonna have Toxic, Stage, myself, Blicks, Chad, Fab, Paris, Twins, and 2-tack. Start on 2-tack. Takeover will be your 18.
Okay. No order. All right.
No order, because I ain't gonna. The standings gonna go above, and it's gonna be very hectic this week.
Okay.
And then our 2 sleeper teams will be Miami and Streaky.
All right, Stagepiece, give me your 3 teams that you think will win it all. 2 to 3 teams. He could even be 4. Who you think will win it all?
For sure, I'm gonna have Blicks as my first team. Because Blicks has probably been there, you know, he's a lot of experience, and then I think he's gonna get Shane right. Number 2, we're gonna have Chadbenz. You know, I think when it comes to playoff time, I think he's been playing 2K since, like, I don't know, 2K 16, 17. He's been playing for a long time, wagers and all that, so he's gonna be locked in. It's gonna probably depend on how KC plays, but I think KC's gonna hold his own. And then 3rd team, I'm gonna say myself. You feel me? When playoffs come, you know, I'm gonna be a different animal. I'm gonna say it right now. You know, I lead the league in steals and rebounds, you know, top 5 in both categories. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. So, and Miss, I think Miss is gonna be locked. Like, we're playing for a lot of, you know, amount of money. So, 3rd team is gonna be definitely me, and then the sleeper team could be me, or I'm also say 2-tack. You know, 2-tack's played in the 2K league before. He's played in like three championships, playoffs, and all that. So he's gonna be composed, and you know he's gonna have good composure. And then I think Cash App's gonna definitely lose. So yeah, that's my top 3 or 4 teams.
All right, and we are with Slump right now. He's another partner, 1v1me partner, and he's gonna give us his 8 that he thinks will be making the playoffs, and his 2 sleeper teams that he thinks could possibly go in. All right, go ahead, Slump.
I got Tox. Tox, because he's the number 1 seed right now. It'd be pretty damn hard for him to drop out. Like, they'd have to be dog shit, and they're not dog shit. So Tox, I got Stage, basically the same reason. If they weren't number 2, I wouldn't have them. I think they suck, but they're number 2, so they're making it. 2-tack, he's gonna carry Cash Out by the balls. Blicks will get it done. You know, Shane baby. Chad gonna make it. Chad gonna end up making it. He got a favorable schedule. I got Takeover next. Takeover got a couple opportunities, including Blicks. So I think Blicks will move up. There's a lot of people that are gonna be on here that aren't high right now. And then I feel like for example, like Blicks and a whole bunch of people are gonna move up, and then they're gonna lose it to other good teams.
Okay.
So I got Takeover, and then I got the Twins. Twins are in there right now, and they got a number of opportunities to stay in there. And then I got Streaky. I think Streaky's gonna find a way to move up. And then for sleepers, I have OFAB. I think they're hooping right now, and I think that, I mean, they don't have that many opportunities, but I just feel like if they get any, I feel like they're gonna take advantage of them. I think Gliz and Fab are kind of doing their thing right now. And then I have Drew. It's looking kind of bleak for them right now, but I do think it's possible. There's a couple people on their schedule that if they were to, like, that I have in my playoffs. So it's like if they were to move up and then Drew could play them, he might have a chance, but he would have to like they'd have to play perfect. I'm not gonna lie. So that's why they're a sleeper, not just in there.
Okay, so out of those teams that make the playoffs, who's like your 2 to 3 favorites that you think win it all?
Let me see. That's tough, bro. I think everyone's kind of ass. Honestly, I like what I seen out of OC Gritty today, bro. Give me Takeover.
One.
Give me. I want to say the Twins, but they're so wishy-washy. Like it all really all depends on Luke. We kind of know what we're getting out of Eli. Like Eli, I feel like Eli and me are the only centers that like you have to like think against and play lanes and shit. I'm not gonna be in there most likely, so I feel like Eli's like a big game changer at center, bro. He makes a lot of teams be like very patient, and they actually have to like look at where the center is. Like most teams, they just throw whatever because like, oh, the center's in the paint. You can't do that against the Twins.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say the Twins, and then I'm gonna say it's between Blicks and Chad.
Blicks and Chad. Okay. Okay, you could just say both of them. You could say both of them. Blicks and Chad.
Yeah,
so
I'll say Blicks and Chad. I feel like honestly, I feel like Shane is better than Casey. And I think on that 6-7, he's going to be actually playing a lot more defense, and Shane's going to have him locked in. Blicks is going to have Shane locked in. I feel like Chad out there is just kind of, if Chad's God, they win. If Chad's not God, they lose.
Okay.
That's pretty much the story of it. And that's not viable, in my opinion. It's viable to make playoffs and be a good team. It's not viable to win a chip, though. I feel like someone will knock them off. So, you know what? Give me Take, Blicks, and Twins.
Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you, Slump. Thank you. That's Slump's top 8 and his sleeper teams and who he thinks will be winning the finals. All right. All right, we are with Takeover Season. He is going to give us his 8 teams he thinks will be making the playoffs, his 2 sleeper teams, and then his 2 to 3 teams that he thinks will win it all. All right, go ahead, Take.
All right, to start off, I think Toxic is going to make the playoffs. They've been winning a lot lately, and they are ranked number 1 right now, so I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer to have them in there.
Okay.
And then for my next team, I got Blicks. Yeah, Blicks got a ton of opportunities this week. He actually plays Toxic, so in my opinion, that's like an easy way to get the crown. So he has that. Two-Tack, they've been playing really good recently. Cash Out's actually been playing really good too, so I got them in there. I got Stagepiece in there. They're number 2 right now, and I feel like they have a good schedule too, so. A lot of it comes down to the schedule and who the teams play this week, which is why I'm not gonna have Drew. I'm not gonna have Drew in my schedule or in my top 8.
Okay.
And then next I got Streaky. I got the Big Streak Diesel.
The Big Streak Diesel. That's what you call it, like.
Yeah, the Big Streak Diesel. He plays a couple of the top teams. I feel like he'll get his way in there. Same with Chad. Chad is probably they're the most well-rounded team in the league. They have the best record, and they get a couple opportunities as well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and then the Twins. I have the Twins too.
Twins, okay.
Oh, and myself. Sorry, I forgot the Twins and myself.
All right, that's your 8. So Tox, Blicks, Two-Tack, Stage Streak, Chad, Twins, and Takeover. Okay. Why do you have yourself?
Yeah, and because we get a ton of opportunities, and we get to play the day before the playoffs start against Twins and Blicks. So I feel like those 2 will be like an opportunity in case like we're struggling and we're not in there. I'll get an opportunity the day right before.
Okay. And then who's your 2 sleeper teams that you think could possibly make it in?
So I'm gonna go Quickie and I'm gonna go OFAB.
Quickster and OFAB.
Yeah, OFAB is number 5 right now, so that's gonna be way different when it comes to the playoffs. But they play Toxic on like the very last day also, and if they win that, then they'll make it. And they've been playing really good. And then Quickie, I feel like Team Quickie deserves to be in the playoffs as well as like Team Chad, but not Team Chad, Team Drew. But they just don't have like a good schedule. So
okay.
I got them as my sleeper.
Okay, so out of all them teams, give me like 2 to 3 who you think wins it all when it comes playoff time. When everybody's locked in, who you think? You think he's gonna be locked in for the money?
I'm gonna not include myself in this, so I'm gonna give you Blicks,
okay,
Chad, and I'm gonna go Two-Tack.
Why? Wait, whoa, Two-Tack. Like, why do you think Two-Tack and Cash Out? Like, they've had a bad season, kind of.
But I just think like I think like you got to throw like a sleeper champion pick in there too, just because anything could happen, bro. Like that's it. That's my reason.
Okay, that kind of threw me off. Two-tack winning it all. Okay, all right, that was stage pieces.
Yes,
8 teams, 2 sleeper teams, and teams to win the finals. Appreciate you, Takeover.
Wait, you said stage piece.
Oh, Takeover. My fault. We now with Chad, and he's gonna give us his 8 teams he think is gonna make the playoffs, and then his 2 sleeper teams. All right, let's go, Chad.
All right. So I got Toxic, obviously. He's number 1 ranked right now, and I think it's gonna be hard for him to drop 8 spots by that time. So I think they're a decent team. They're solid. So I got Toxic. Number 2, I got Stage. Same reason. Number 2 right now. It's gonna be hard to drop that far, but if anyone can do it, Stage can do it. So we'll see. We'll see. 3, we got Paris. Same exact reason, and they have a decent schedule too. They play a lot of the higher teams, so I got Paris. 4, I have Blicks. Blicks plays Toxic tomorrow, and I can't see him not taking that. So we're gonna have Blicks. 5, I have my team. I think that we have a lot of good matchups, and we have a few chances, and it just takes one. So we're gonna go with us. 6, we have OFAB. OFAB's number 5 right now, and not only that, he plays Toxic later in the week. So I think either A, they can hold on to their spot now, or they can, beat Toxic later. And I'm just gonna group these 2 together. 7 and 8, I have Takeover and Drew. They have a decent schedule. I think Drew has a tougher chance, but I think he'll, sneak in. He's a really good team. So Takeover and Drew are my 7, 8, and then you want my 2 sleepers?
Yep, your 2 sleeper teams.
All right. 1 is Quickster. I don't think he's really a sleeper, but his schedule really isn't favorable. He doesn't play after Friday, but he does play Blicks after Blicks plays Toxic. So if they win that, they're in.
Okay.
I'll say that right now. If they win that, they're in. And my other sleeper, it's kind of surprising. I'm gonna go with rank 16 Meterman Los.
Okay, that's the first time I heard that.
They play Toxic on Thursday, and I think they have a shot. So we're gonna give it to Meterman Los as my other sleeper.
Okay, so out of all those teams, just give me 2 to 3 you think will win it all. Like, did you just think?
Gosh. I'm not gonna say myself. I think I have a shot, but I'm not gonna say myself.
Okay.
I think the best 2 chances are Blicks and Shane. And then it's similar other answers between Drew and Takeover, but I think I'm gonna give the upper hand to Takeover, and I think that that West stuff, it gives him an advantage. It really does. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Chad. Thank you for your that's Chad's 8, 2 sleepers, and his finalist teams. I hope to see y'all in the playoffs, man. All right, we lastly here with Blicks. He gonna give his 8 he thinks makes the playoffs and his 2 sleeper teams, and then 2 to 3 teams he thinks is gonna win the chip. All right, whenever you ready, Blicks.
All right, man. So I'm not gonna lie, just looking like at schedules and everything like that, I got my first team in. I got Tox. They got the crown. They got some tough matchups, and Draco has been playing bad, but I feel like they have too many games for them not to make it, and they do play. If I'm not mistaken, they play some people down the lines who also have like high ranked matchups as the week goes.
Okay.
So like some people they play, like if you go look at right now, they might play the number 10 team, but that number 10 team that they play on Friday and we're only on Monday can possibly be like number 2 or 3.
Okay.
So they just have a lot of chances as they're already number 1. So I got that team in. I got the Twins in. The Twins have been looking pretty solid for like the last 2-3 weeks total. Okay. So and they have some good matchups. Like they play a lot of they have a lot of chances. They have a lot of chances versus a lot of teams to just stay in the rankings as they're already in. They're number 6 right now. So I got that team. I got that team coming in at the number 2 or 3 spot. And then after that, I got Chad. I got Chad making his way in. Once again, the same rules apply for a majority of people. He just needs his chance, and he also has to depend on other teams not falling to teams that are lower than him. So like we can't have the Meterman Losses beating the Takeovers or anything like that because he's lower than them. So he has a little bit more dependent to do. And then I got me right after him because I'm in the same boat, literally, on the rankings. I mean, my situation's better because because I play Tox. Like I got a Tox matchup. I play 2 tag. I got some good matchups. My situation is a little bit better, so I got a higher probability of making it. But we're still all in the same boat. And I also play him this week, so if I'm ranked high, he has a really good chance. Like me and him go back and forth whenever we play, like throughout the whole year, 24 and 25. So I got him there, and I got me after him. Next, I got 2 tag. They're currently ranked pretty solid. They're ranked 4, so that already gives them an advantage. They do have a pretty decent schedule. They play me, they play Takeover, they play Chad, they play Drew. But the one that catches my eye is on Sunday, the last day they play Stagepiece. And Stagepiece is number 2. Now I don't know how far Stagepiece is going to drop, but I feel like Stagepiece will still be in the rankings. And I have Stagepiece at 6, at the 16. I feel like when Sunday comes, Stagepiece team will be 5, and 2 tag will take it over them and make them 6, making 2 tag number 5. And then at 7, I got Takeover. I don't know, man. I feel like Takeover just has too many chances to not make it. He plays Stagepiece tomorrow. He plays Paris the next day. He plays 2 tag the next day after that. So that's 2, 3, and 4. Then at the end of the week, he plays 2K Twins and me on the same day. He's also in the playoffs currently right now. So he probably has the best chance to make it out of anybody, honestly. His schedule is good throughout the week, and he's in the playoffs right now. And then my last team, I have Paris. I got Paris and Cardi. Yeah, so as I was saying, I got Paris as the last team to make it in. I feel like out of all the teams I've named, I feel like that team, you could say quote unquote, is the worst. But they're not bad because they're in the playoffs. But I just look at the other guards that I named, like they're in a certain category. So I feel like you got the guards like me, Chad, Takeover, that you want to call the quote unquote elite. And then every other guard. Besides, I feel like the Twins is just a little different because they are sitting next to each other. So it's really hard for them to play bad. Oh yeah, so I feel like Paris and A Cardi's team is the worst out of the 8 teams I named, but it's not by far. It's not a big gap at all. I just feel like it all depends on which guard is gonna come hot off those teams. Let's say Draco comes off hot, that's the better team. Let's say Cardi comes off hot, that's the better team. It's just they got that on and off switch. So whoever has it on, you know. But I feel like Cardi will have it on by Sunday. I feel like every guard, I feel like the stakes are too high. I feel like Draco is gonna have it on by Sunday. I feel like Miss has to fucking turn it on by Sunday. And these teams are already ranked pretty high up, so I just feel like they're gonna stay. But those are my 8 teams. You said
give me 2 sleeper teams you think out of your 8. You can name your 8 real quick, just all together, and give me a 2 sleeper.
Okay, so my 8 is Tox, Twins, Stage, Takeover, Chad, Blicks, 2 tag, and Paris. Okay, now 2 sleeper teams that you think could possibly make it. Now, 2 sleeper teams. Give me 1 second here. I like Team Iggymo. So first I heard of it. Iggymo plays 2 tag. I think Saturday or Sunday. And they go back and forth. I feel like it's more of a fun series to them rather than a super competitive. And I feel like 2 tag is just prone to do more silly shit or something like that, or not care as much, even though it's for the playoffs. But 2 tag really doesn't have like a true care. And if he were to lose to Iggymo, he would be upset, but he would be like, fuck it, I lost to Iggymo. I talk to him every day. And then to give you another team, Quickie. I don't think it's a sleeper, but he's not in my top 8. But I mean, they have hella chances. They can easily be exchanged for any team on this list. Okay. So those are my 2 teams that are not in my top 8 that I think will make it if 2 of the other teams did it. All right, now 2 to 3 teams you think just wins it all. Like once they get in that playoffs, they're gonna be dominant. They're gonna be locked in. They're probably gonna win it. I like Twins. Okay. I like Chad. You can name yourself if you wanted to. If you can name yourself. See, it just all depends on the rankings. I feel like I would say my team but I just feel like we match up terribly against the Twins.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they bring the worst out of my team. So it just all depends on rankings. But if we're just going off who I think can take it home, I think me, Chad, and Twins. And then Takeover too. I gotta give you 4. I'm sorry because
you get 4.
He has a really big advantage over every other team. There's no other West team, so he's the only West team in the playoffs. And I think that's just a huge advantage. That shit wins him a lot of series when they go to game 3, or he just gets a free game off of West and just runs right into East and 2-0 the team. So you can't count that team out. Actually, I put Takeover's team over mine. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like Twins and Chad are a more polished team than my team total combined. Because one, the Twins are sitting next to each other. So if they're on, they're fucking like they're on. They're getting the back doors. They're getting the easy shit. And then Chad is really good, and Casey's solid. Casey's all right, but Chad is really, really good. I feel like they mesh more than me and Shane do. So I'll take Twins, Takeover, and Chad.
Okay.
I take Twins, Takeover, and Chad as my 3.
Okay. All right, y'all. That's Blicks's 8 sleepers and his teams that win the playoffs. Thank you, Blicks. Hey, we hope to see you in the playoffs, man.